World's Outstanding Podcast. It's just a group of friends talking about sports, sharing ideas, and learning from each other. I'm the host, Cash. These are my other hosts with me.
KT.
Hard one. What's up?
Slick here.
For sure. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Our first topic. Turkey and Dana White are starting a TKO boxing league. What's your thoughts? And then impact on fighters' contracts moving forward. I'll go ahead and kick it off. I got a lot to say about this topic. So first, I'm just gonna start with my original thoughts is I'm untrusting of Dana. You know, I like Turkey. I like everything that he's done for boxing since he's in these last 2 years that he's been a part of boxing. But I'm really untrusting of Dana. Primarily because of how they run the UFC, where it's like a monopoly and everybody gonna bow down or get kicked out. If you buck the system, you out. The impact on fighters' contracts moving forward, as far as what the league can do. All right, overall, I think if we had a boxing league, that would be beneficial for boxing. I think if we were able to do away with the sanctioning bodies and multiple champions and the money that's involved with all of these belts and fake belts, interim belts, champion and recess belts. If we're able to do away with all of these belts, I think it benefits boxing as a whole. I think that it stops all of the confusion when fans constantly seeing people walking out with belts and they like, wait, how do all these people get belts? You never know who the real champion is. And also, it's created this atmosphere of like, if I win a belt, no matter which belt it is, I could call myself the champion and say I'm the best in the world. And I ain't never got to prove it. I ain't got to fight another champion. I'm not worried about somebody else walking around saying they the best in the world. I get to say that I am. And I got enough fans, they're going to stand behind it. So that's good enough for me. If these guys was getting it on, if everybody who became champions started to unify and go for undisputed, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't be talking about creating a league or somebody controlling boxing in that type of a way. Now, with that said, I think that there are some drawbacks with them creating this that people haven't really thought about. There's the Muhammad Ali Reform Act, which basically prohibits a monopoly in boxing. It also prohibits a bunch of other things, like the promoter can't be the manager, right? Turkey right now is basically both, you know. Also, a sanctioning body can't be a promotional company. You can't have a belt and then have ties to a promotional company or ties to boxers, right? Even though we see all of these rules get circumvented. Eddie Hearn is the promoter. Eddie Hearn is also the manager. Like, all of his fighters have managers, but he says who's going to fight who. He makes the fights happen. He puts the fights together. He's basically the manager. It must be a sweet deal to be the manager of a fighter for Matchroom because you're getting paid for nothing. And then the same thing with the sanctioning bodies. They're not supposed to be connected, but you see the WBC predominantly with Hispanic fighters. You see the WBA predominantly with PBC. You see the WBO predominantly with Top Rank. So although they're not really supposed to be connected to these promotional companies, they are. And with Turkey, I didn't like, as much as I don't like the WBC, as much as I don't really care for any of the sanctioning bodies, to be honest. I didn't like when Canelo, if y'all seen a press conference with him and William, Canelo said, could he grab his WBC belt? And Turkey told him, no, you don't need that. I ain't like that. I ain't like the fact that, like, I get that y'all coming in and y'all want to do something good for boxing, but it's in your interest as well. That's the issue. That promoting Ring Magazine and promoting your belt like it's the real belt, that's in your interest, you know. And then when it comes to fighter pay, right? You know, in the last episode I said I don't care. I don't care about what somebody making because it don't benefit me at all. But I don't want to see the pay discrepancies that we've seen in the UFC come to boxing. The Ali Act prohibits that. It doesn't allow for a monopoly to happen. It has to be competitive, which is why I'm not quite sure how this league will work. Like, first they have to separate from Top Rank. I don't know how they do that. TKO and not Top Rank, Ring Magazine in Turkey. They have to separate those two entities. I don't know how they do that without us like looking at it and knowing y'all not really separate, right? Then the second part is like it can't be a monopoly. So as long as they have this business module, the reason it worked for the UFC is because it was in the infant stages of MMA becoming a sport. Most people identify UFC as MMA. They don't even understand that that's just a league of MMA. They think that the UFC is MMA. That would be like somebody thinking Top Rank is boxing. That's the only boxing, right? Because they caught it in its infant stages, they were able to kind of manipulate it. Fighting is a poor man's sport. Combat sports is combat sports is a poor man's sport. So they find fighters from all across the world who have nothing, offer them something, and they're willing to jump on it, right? I'm trying to create a life for myself with my hands and feet. So I'm willing to take what you're willing to give. I look back at some numbers, and one of the top 5 selling pay-per-views for UFC was McGregor versus Diaz. The reason I looked at that one is because Conor McGregor made $1 million. He was the first fighter in the UFC to make $1 million for one fight.
Crazy.
I want to say Nate Diaz made 400,000 or 500,000.
500.
500,000, and then both of them got $40,000 bonus for what they
fight of the night.
Nah, for what is it for what they wear for the Reebok thing?
Oh, sponsor.
So, yeah, sponsorship bonus, right? So, all right, got a big issue with that already. Like the fact that fighters used to be able to go and make money outside of the UFC by throwing the sponsorship on their trunks. And then Dana took all that away and said, I'm going to make this backdoor deal with Reebok for myself. And now all of the fighters have to have Reebok as their sponsor, and that's it. And we'll give you a piece of it. That's dirty. You know what I'm saying? And boxing don't allow that. It doesn't allow you to not have competitive opportunities for the boxers. Also, like if I sign up with TKO and things not working out, you can't keep me like I can sign a contract, but once that contract is up, I can move around. Also with the sanctioning bodies, like that's why you see people bid on purses, even when you're signed to a company, right? If the company can't come to terms that the fighters agree to, if they say we'll offer you $2 million, that's what took Devin so long to get in the ring. If people don't know, and that's why I don't get into the whole conversation about Devin suing Ryan and all that because it's too nuanced. If you try to just black and white it, it's too much going on in that situation. Devin had a minimum of $4 million. Devin loses to Ryan. Ryan pops on Osterine. Now Devin next fight they offer him $2 million. He's like, well, my minimum was $4 million. Well, you lost. Well, they took it back. Well, we offering you $2 million. Him suing Ryan is because I lost money. Like the way that the public look at me and the money that I'm able to make has changed because you popped hot. People, whatever the issue is with Devin, they refuse to look at things through a clear lens without bias about that situation. So I'm gonna wrap it up. I'll come back after y'all say what y'all say. But basically, I like the idea. I don't think that it's going to work. Predominantly because of the Ali Act, because Dana is used to not having competitiveness with his fighters. He is basically the dictator, and that's not a part of boxing. The one thing I will say that is good about the UFC, high-end boxers make way more, right? Conor McGregor, $1 million for a fight that did $80 million. That's insane. That's insane. The fight generated $80 million and this man got $1 million, right? When
That's wild money.
when Usyk fought Anthony Joshua, they split $150 million. $150 million. Like that, the shit that they do with the UFC is not gonna work over here with boxing. But the one thing that I will say is, on average, UFC fighters make on average about $150,000 a year. Low end boxers, middle end boxers don't make that much money. But boxing is bigger, it's not as controlled, and the numbers are skewed. I looked the numbers up. The numbers are so skewed because you're talking about people fighting in back room bars and stuff like that, making a couple $100 or $1,000, which is skewing the numbers completely. It's not really talking about the top 50 fighters that's ranked or whatever. They're talking about all of them. All right, so that's my piece on it. I'm gonna kick it to you, KT.
Cook.
We appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. We'll catch y'all next episode, boy. God damn, G. Honestly, I think it's a good thing for boxing if Dana can incorporate aspects of the best fighting the best that he did in UFC. You can't really duck nobody over in UFC. It's mandatory that you fighting a killer damn near every time out. Especially if you're a champion, you fighting number one contender, number two contender, and all of them boys is either former champs or upcoming lions. So if he can incorporate scheduling aspects, the matchmaking aspects that he did in UFC, I think that'll take boxing to a whole new level. Boxing already has rules and regulations that you touch to in place where they can't really get too cute with what they're doing to monopolize the sport, but them contracts are gonna be the main thing. Whatever they sign it. Same way we was talking about, Bud getting out of that top rank contract and other fighters getting out of them top rank contracts so they can go get better fights elsewhere. It's fighting for a promotional company that's willing to put the dollars behind the fighter. So if TKO willing to do that, or DAZN, whoever else is out there that's willing to just get a fighters whatever money it is to make them top fights, I think we'll see that going forward, which can only be positive for the fighters in increased pay because, like you touched on, we're not starting boxing from ground zero. We starting with an established product, established stars already. It's not people that got to work their way up and make a name for themselves. I'm already making $4 million. I'm already making $8 million a fight. I just split $150 for my last fight. You can't come at me with $150 to show, $150 to place. Like, you got to pay me the bread. So, and I think Dana's smart with it. He's got to come with the little slap box and stuff, and he got ways to build competitive sports up and the formula to do that to make people want to watch it. So Turkey went to him to manage it. I don't know really what Turkey's role is going to be with Dana then running the show, but I think it's good for boxing. I think we'll see the best fight the best finally, even though it won't be our generation of fighters that we grew up watching, but for these next generation of fighters that's 20, 22 right now, 25, I say 25 and under, we'll get to see the best really fight the best going forward. How you feeling, Scott?
Yeah, I feel what both of y'all saying. But this was that conundrum I told you that could be created when there's a dictator from the last episode. And to your point, Cash, about the Ring magazine belt, Didn't Turkey buy the Ring magazine from De La Hoya? So that issue was already there, if that's the case. If you can fact check me on that.
I don't know if it was from De La Hoya, but he did buy it though.
I think De La Hoya owned Ring magazine, bro.
Yeah, Turkey owns it now.
Yep, and Turkey just bought it. So I think that issue was kind of already there. But again, you already addressed the cricket behavior that's going on with each sanctioning body too. You addressed that. And with the Ali Act, I think that's because Bob Arum the crook. We get on Don King in the black community. We know him as the crook, but really, Bob Arum the one that went to court for this. So it's great for boxing as far as who we want to see fight. We want to see the best fight the best. It's going to be like the NBA. Eastern Conference champ got to fight the Western Conference champ. You can't duck that. We're going to really know who the best. You ain't going to have the WBA belt, WBC belt, WBO belt, IBF belt, and they all talk about I'm the best fighter out here. We're going to really know who the best. And plus in boxing, y'all know styles make fights. So any given night, anybody can be the best. That's the beautiful thing about boxing. So it's good in that sense, but it's so nuanced, like Cash said. We got to see where it's going because it can get real. They walking the tightrope with this. What you think, Slick?
I think it's great. Let's just call a spade a spade. Dana's gonna be the face of it, but we know the money's coming from Turkey. So I think that's how they separate it. Dana's gonna be the matchmaker, the speaker, but the money's gonna come from Turkey. And Dana just got a proven track record. Like you get great fights on the UFC cards, multiple pay-per-views a month for fights people actually want to see. And it's also going to be interesting for me. I want to see how these other promotional companies take a liking to this, like because they actually are in control. Even though TKO is a new boxing league, these old promotional companies also still have the power because they got the assets already. They got the fighters already. So it's going to be interesting to see if they bunker down and start negotiating and working with each other to get these fights so they won't have to go to the TKO league. So let's see if they drop their nuts and do that. And if they don't, I feel like Turkey got a proven track record as well with the Riyadh season. Every fight they put on is phenomenal. He's paying these guys, and I think when you match him with a Dana White type of guy, they'll be able to match make and put on great fights. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see.
And another little point I forgot to mention, man, is them crossover fights between the UFC and boxing become a little easier under that TKO league too. When it's homegrown there, we get a lot of them big fights that be, the McGregor Mayweather or the, Joshua and Ngannou or whatever the case may be, whether people really want to see them, but for entertainment and for another product that they provide us and make it a little bit easier having TKO boxing league on by Dana.
Hey, KT, also, we only want to see them fights at the end of their career, though. We don't want to see Tank trying to fight Jake Paul in the middle of his career. He ain't fought none of the guys from his era. I hear you and I'm with you, but that's just the little nuance I'm going to throw in there. That's it.
Also, it gives boxing a new audience. A lot of UFC people don't watch boxing. So if they see Dana White behind it and a motherfucker that's a billionaire behind it, it'll probably draw a newer audience. So, I think that'd be great for boxing as well, too.
Slick, you made some great points. And I thought about that as well, how the promotional companies is going to be put up a shut-up time. Like, they're going to have to work together or they're going to get ran over with the type of money Turkey throwing around. So I agree. And I really hope that they get it together as opposed to having a monopoly. But the one thing that I do want to say is when we talk about the best fight and the best, there is a dichotomy there. The first side of that is, as a fan, for sure, I want to see the best fight the best. The other part of it is, Turkey throwing around money, but like, are you recouping anything? You know what I'm saying? How long does this formula continue to work? Because what we've seen in the past is when the best fight the best, it don't really turn out to be the biggest numbers. You know what I'm saying? The biggest fight this last year, it kills me to say it, but it was Jake Paul and Tyson. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. TC and Spence didn't even sell 1 million pay-per-views. You know what I'm saying? When Loma fought Devin, that fight didn't do well. You know, when Bivol and Beterbiev 1 and 2 didn't do that great. And I know that his formula, his system is not based around pay-per-view sales, but the idea of I don't even want to say it too loud because I feel like by me saying that, by putting that energy out, it's like, damn, the best fight and the best really don't. As a fan, that's what I want to see. But when y'all saying that, it's like, how sustainable is that?
That's a good point, Cash. Go ahead.
But it's if. So the reason why it was Tyson and Paul is because of Tyson's reputation. Because back in the day, Tyson fought the best. So the stars of yesterday were better than the stars of today because them boys actually fought everybody. So with the 25 and under, if they're actually able to fight everybody and become legend, whether it's 2, 3, 4 losses on their record, whatever the case may be, like that increases the star power of that actual person. We just talked we talk about off camera tape and the numbers he's doing. And is he one of the faces of boxing? And I feel like it should have been a lot more than 250,000.
He ain't even do 250.
Coming
He
in
did under 200.
Yeah,
but,
you know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, on some real shit, Tank is a star. And stars become stars no matter what. You can't force nobody to be a star. You can't shove it down our throat. Pause. You can't, no matter how much you try to get behind somebody and push them and say, oh, this is the next guy. The public gonna decide who the stars are. Straight up. Like, Usyk is phenomenal. They should be writing movies about him. But he's not a star. Know what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is. Like, Jake Paul don't fight nobody. He not ranked in the top 200 cruiserweights. But he a star. It's unfortunate, but he's a star.
What do you think he base stars off of these days then?
The difference is
actual talent
show up for.
I think that's because
recognizable. Who do people show up for?
I mean, that's what it should be though. Who's the most marketable? That's what it comes down to. I don't think
the most marketable, not the best all the time. Bivol or Beterbiev are not marketable.
But if you're creating something that's new, you have to have a marketing scheme to bring people towards it. Even though if the two people that are fighting, you look at them as not being marketable, you have to do something that's going to draw the attention of people to make them want to come to the fight. And as far as is it sustainable, I can't count another man's pocket. You feel me? Like we don't know what this man's net worth is. And what if he just doing it because he loves the sport of boxing? He don't even care about recouping. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest thing that we need to worry about. And like I say, with Dana being involved, he's gonna get the best to fight the best, bro. Period. Point blank. Period. It's gonna get done. I don't think he's gonna have nothing to do with the pay or none of that. I just think he's the front runner.
What I'm hoping is that Turkey's model brings boxing back to the forefront to the average American. That way, the best fighting the best still will get paid. Now, will that happen? We got to wait and see. But I'm hoping that's what occurs.
For real. Man,
for sure.
Pay-per-views and sit up as a family when I was a younger G, my cousins, all of us. For Tyson, Holyfield, all them fights that used to be on Roy Jones, Tarver. Like, I remember it being 20 of us in the room just sitting down, barbecue, food, ready to go. Like, I feel like as long as the best continue to fight the best, man, and you got people at the top of that totem pole that's constantly willing, I think we're going to get back to it.
I can't even.
Are we so caught up into the numbers? Do we care about the numbers or do we care about the fight?
Care about both.
Because we need both to sustain.
I care about the fight, but the numbers
why do we care about the numbers as long as the fight is getting paid though?
Because if the sport, go ahead.
On some real shit, how long? I know you saying like we not counting nobody pockets, but no business can keep putting money out and not recouping. No business. There's never been a business model in the world that just keeps putting out money.
Unless you got that petroleum money,
except America.
If you got that petroleum money,
we gonna see what's up.
We gonna see. This will be a continued conversation.
I think it's less events
as time goes on.
You said what?
Because we could talk about this all day. It's gonna be a continuation experiment. We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. All right, for the next topic, Shakur offers a fight to Lamont Roach if rematch doesn't happen with Tank. It's been kind of quiet on that front with the rematch. Are you interested in that fight? I'll start with Slick. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say 100%. I'm interested in that fight. For two reasons. Um, I feel like Roach got the ugly end of the stick there, but he's also gained a little bit of stardom. More people know who he is. Um, and for my boy Shakur, it gives him an opportunity to fight somebody that other people recognize as okay. He not fighting. No, he not just fighting anybody. We seen what this guy did against Tank, and it's hard for Shakur to get a fight as is. So I feel like if this fight happens immediately and not all the way down the road, it could be a big fight. And I'd be glad to see two boxers go at it and fight. I don't know if Tank gonna run it back with Roach. I want him to, and I give him full credit for fighting Roach in the first place. I hope he runs it back, But if he don't, Roach and Shakur definitely be a good secondary option. Shakur, I'm taking Shakur in that one, by the way, too. Ain't no funny business.
I definitely want to see it if it happened. For all of the points that you made, honestly, only thing I disagree with is the boxer thing. I do think that Lamont is he's technical, but I don't think he is like a straight boxer. Shakur is the epitome of hit and don't get hit. Lamont willing to take one to land one. I would prefer if Tank ran it back with him. Lamont, I mean, I'ma always feel like he got cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if in the second fight he get knocked out in the first round, I'ma always feel like he got cheated in the first fight. And it's so rare, if ever, that you're gonna hear me say a close fight is a robbery. But with all of that stuff that happened in that fight, I had it 7-5 without the knockdown. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a lot. It's a lot to it. I would love for Tank to give him the opportunity to run it back. I believe if they do run it back, I do think Tank will win. But I think every time they fight, it's gonna be tough because you fighting somebody who know you. But the Shakur fight, everything Slade said, honestly, like Shakur would get a notable name right now. Lamont name is hot, and Tank fans, you know how they do. Like once you fight Tank, they want you to be so successful because it helps Tank. So
Talk that talk, man.
his status is where it needs to be and deservedly so. So I would love for Shakur to get that shot. If it happens, we'll do a prediction video. But
who to get the shot?
Go ahead, KT.
For who to get the shot?
Huh?
You said for who to get the shot?
I would love for Lamont to get the shot at Shakur.
Okay. Because you said Shakur first time. I said, oh, okay. But
I'm excited to hear what KT about to say. I
want to hear this shit, KT.
I want to hear this.
Listen, this is why we do this stuff for the casuals, man. You want to know about a fight, you come to us. It's because before the fight, everybody said, why is Tank fighting Lamont Roach? Right? Who is he? He ain't nobody. He shouldn't have been fighting.
Who is everybody?
The casuals. This is why we do it for the casuals. Right?
This nigga Slick.
Said,
your name's Slick, but he's
why
Slick.
is he fighting Lamont Roach? He shouldn't be fighting him. He should be fighting X, Y, and Z. And now here we are wanting to see a rematch of Tank and Lamont Roach, man. And it's because people don't give these fighters the real credit they deserve for being able to get in that ring and get busy. Granted, there's two parts to that. I know, so I ain't go. We've been talking about seeing the best fight the best. And Lamont wasn't really ranked up there with the best. However, Lamont could get out, man. And if he did anything, it's to prove that he belonged in the ring with guys like that. And that's why Shakur offered him to fight. If he good enough for Tank, he good enough for Shakur, right? Or vice versa, right? Why is that Shakur next call out? Is Lamont Roach? If it's, why are we going elsewhere if Lamont Roach isn't the fighter that Tank claimed that he was.
Boogeyman.
Post fight. So
Baba Yaga.
yes, I want to see them run it back, but we heard out of Tank mouth already at the press conference that it more than likely won't be the next fight that they have.
If Tank don't run it back, what you think though, KT?
So I highly doubt. Oh shit, he might. Honestly.
If he don't, what you think?
If he don't though, I'm saying.
If he don't, it just means he got other shit lined up. Other shit lined up. I want to
Give it to me raw.
If I was Tank, I'm running it back. If I was his advisors, I'm running that back. You got to go make that right. What Floyd do after they said they liked the Maidana result? He said, shit, we can run that shit right back there. That's
that nigga ain't Floyd.
Huh?
He ain't Floyd, you know that.
I said he Floyd, but if you up there with the greats,
not Floyd.
He don't even got that type of mentality.
You want to see you prove it, man. So
Scotty, I ain't trying to take your thunder. I know you next, bro. I just want to ask KT one more question.
What's up?
No, please do.
If he don't run it back with him, is that a stain on him to you? Is that a duck? Jacket?
This is the only reason why I'm not sure is because it sounded like he already had something lined up. It sounded like contractually or whatever they had going that he already had something lined up next.
No, he said I was going to announce something.
Yeah, which is why he said it's the fight he wants next, but most likely not the fight that he gonna have next.
That's why I'm glad you my homie.
How can he have?
Hold on. What I will say though, if it's not his next 2 fights, it will be a stain on his record.
That's why I'm glad you my homie, because I know if somebody say something bad about me, how you coming?
Come on now.
I already know.
Belt to ass. What Lamar said?
Tank ain't even your homie.
He not my homie.
He ain't even your favorite fighter.
I give everybody a fair shake around here, man.
Everybody?
Except Keith bitch ass.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, y'all go with this Keith Thurman hate,
demonetized.
Man.
Go ahead, Scotty.
I'm just saying though, how could he have something contractually lined up? What if he would have lost against Lamont? He was gonna have to run it back anyway.
Exactly.
He wasn't losing against Lamont.
What you expect the Tank fan to say?
They not gonna give it to you.
I'm gonna let you live, KT. But you talk about some now. Shakur want to fight Lamont because of that. That's cap. Shakur was one of the very few people outside of these 2 dudes above me that picked Lamont to win.
Thanks.
That's cap, KT. I'm gonna say that.
What's cap?
Shakur knew how good Lamont was.
But that's what I'm saying. But to the casuals did not know how good Lamont was. Right? It was wise Tank.
But you said that's why Shakur did that. That's not why Shakur is going to fight him.
Shakur wants to prove that he can do better than Tank did by beating Roach easier than Tank did. That's why Shakur is fighting.
Okay, I'll take that. That's exactly why.
That's exactly why.
I'll take that. Yeah, hell yeah, I want to see Shakur versus Lamont. I think that and y'all talk about some. I feel like he got cheated. I'm always think he got. Hey, we know he got cheated. The New York Athletic State Commission admitted they missed the call, but they didn't overturn it because he the money man. Allegedly, he only sold 200,000 pay-per-views. But that ain't my business.
It was enough rounds left in the fight for it to go differently. That's why. And that's what I said right after. I'm like,
they didn't say that.
They said that. They said that. They said that, but that shit don't make sense though.
It was
a knockdown is a knockdown.
Left or less, they would have overturned it, but because there was so much fight left, they didn't overturn it. Regardless, he got stiff. Like, I mean, we know what it is.
Oh, all right. I'll take that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool. I'll take that.
Like, we know what's up.
I'm cool with that. Yeah, I want to see it. And Lamont deserves it. Because we know Tank ain't going to fight him next. We need to just go ahead and stop playing. Or he would have been said, yeah, let's run it back. I got to get that back now. And he ain't signed with Floyd no more, so he can't say, well, if he wasn't signed with Floyd, you know, he'd be getting these fights, cap. If he was, listen, this ain't about Tank. Shakur and Lamont, good fight, and I agree with Cash and Slick. More so Cash, he's not just this boxer. He ain't as explosive as Tank, of course, but he like a boxer puncher. He take one to give one. Shakur go in there and dissect you. He in there throwing sharp shit. Good defense, whether if he inside, mid-range, or long range, it don't matter. He gonna make you miss and he gonna counter you. And of course, like you said, KT, that's the rematch, and that he gonna prove that if he can fight a guy that Tank lost to, and he beat him, then that make him look good to the public, to the casuals that didn't know who Lamont was. So of course, but the fact that Shakur got to jump through these hoops and play all these games to even get a fight when he's a 3-division champion and he beat Oscar Valdez and he beat the out of Jamel Herring, and Jamel Herring already beat Lamont. But okay, whatever. But see, this is the attack on boxers that my brother Cash be talking about. I'm gonna give you credit for that. He created this term, and it's really a pun because it's really attack on black fighters. Because Mr. Keith Hotime Thurman gonna speak on Shakur, and he held up the welterweight division for 3, 4, 5 years playing bang pipes like, oh, I don't want to fight Earl. That little boy ain't fought nobody. Right, KT?
He was the front runner. What was the real reason he held it up? Who was the sanctioning body when he held them belts? We got to look at him. We got to look at the sanctioning body that held those belts that he was holding up. We got to look at them instead of the fighter.
You know, they always gonna do what's in the best interest of money.
He only gonna do what they allow.
But they always gonna do what's in the best interest of money.
They showed one of that Arrow and Key fight when Arrow had all the straps in the best interest of money.
So yeah, we ain't finna give Keith Thurman that pass. Like, Keith Thurman held up
at 2 different weight classes. They was trying. And Arrow was like, man, listen, I'll retire before I fight Keith Thurman.
My boy,
because he played. He the reason. He part of the reason why we got that Earl and that Bud fight late. He part of the reason. So he gonna get on there and say, well, he ain't fought Isaac Cruz. Keith Thurman. Isaac Cruz was his mandatory. Before that, the WBC ordered it so they can fight for the WBC belt when he moved up to 135. He didn't have to fight Yoshino. He didn't have to do that. Isaac Cruz told Blue Blood out his mouth, I don't like his style. He's a runner. That's the attack on boxers. I don't like your style. He's a runner. It's code word for a damn. I can't beat him. He gonna make me look real bad in there, and he might stop me. So let me go ahead and play with the psyche of the public. Yeah, he's a runner. He's not good. The casual's gonna believe it. But why is that? Listen, Devin Haney just was asked the question. I'm not even gonna name this reporter. How you think your chin gonna hold up? The same way Ali's held up when Joe Frazier caught him with that left hook. He got up and he kept getting up and he finished on his feet and could have won the fight still with the knockdowns. It was a close fight. Why you attacking his chin, but you ain't attacking Juicy Juice? The man on PEDs, Cash, what you say, Sensu beans? The man on Sensu beans, PEDs, and you ain't asked him not nan question about, hey, how's your mind's frame? You didn't feel like you could beat him like it was fair. But let Barry Bonds, who's hitting a baseball, he can't get in the Hall of Fame. Meanwhile, he getting walked with the bases loaded. He can't get in the Hall of Fame. This is why the media didn't care if Pacquiao was on PEDs or not when Floyd fought. I mean, Floyd ain't the best guy to use an example for as far as character, because he the same dude that said, Bud, you should go fight Benavidez. Fight Benavidez, he 175. What are you talking about, Floyd? But anyway, the public, we supposed to be American. Y'all want a foreigner to make this American look bad because you hate to see this black dude be so successful and cocky while he doing it. Same way y'all did Ali. Y'all hated him. Y'all didn't like Ali. Y'all hate Floyd. Y'all hate because he beat all of them. Y'all changed the narrative every time. All of a sudden, this Floyd was ducking everybody. Excuse me, all them dudes was ducking him. He was having to jump weight classes to go get them dudes. Oscar was ducking him. Oscar was the money man. Same thing, but y'all wanted Floyd to lose, and you didn't care if Manny Pacquiao was on PEDs. Even though his team sent him an email. Teddy Atlas even reported Pacquiao team sent Floyd team an email say, hey, if we fail the test, can we keep it covered up? The truth is, y'all just want to see these young black fighters lose. Because if a foreigner come over here with good footwork and he a good counter puncher, Lomachenko, you going to swear to God he the greatest.
Look at him.
What is we talking about?
Best thing since sliced bread, boy.
The truth is, you don't want to fight him because he boring or because he move a lot because he sit right. I don't know nobody in the game right now fighting in his pocket better than Shakur. Nobody in the game.
Facts.
Nobody. His inside work is amazing. Defense and offense. Bad hands or not. He working out. It's just cold word for, hey, I was in the gym, Cash, last year. I'm boxing. I'm sparring everybody in there, back to back. These amateur boxers coming in, we sparring. It's this other Mexican coming in there. He don't want to spar me, but you know, you can feel energy when somebody is nervous energy or I hate you energy or weird energy. You can feel it. After we all done sparring, PEDs come up because Oscar Valdez had Pop Dirty, another of the Juicy Juice team. Oh yeah, Shakur beat him. Another dude on the Juicy Juice team, he come up. The Mexican dude gonna say, well, you know, everybody's doing it. They just didn't get caught. No, who you talking? Everybody ain't doing it. It's other people getting tested every fight. These black fighters who you say running is getting tested every fight. Devin Haney getting tested. These dudes, Floyd Mayweather was willing to get tested. He should be champion. Come on, man. It's clear racism. The attack on boxers, the attack on traditional boxers is just the attack on black fighters because you hate to see us lose and hate to see us win and be brash, Shedeur Sanders. Oh, he too cocky. He needs to be humble. The fuck out of here.
Yeah. What you got to add, Cash?
No, I completely agree. I think that the attack on traditional boxers it is 100% the attack on black boxers. I just seen Madronov do all of this moving around and lose the fight. Everybody talk about, all they do is run. You cannot win a fight without throwing punches. All that fucking moving don't lead to nothing if you not landing shit. Shakur be beating ass. I fucking hate that people try to pretend like this dude run. Like, he had one fight that he ran. That was De Los Santos. His hand was fucked up. The proof is in the pudding. He's a southpaw. How many times did he throw a left hand? Go count him. I counted like 17 in a 12-round fight that he threw his power hand. Like, the proof is in the pudding. I hate when people argue with bias instead of what their eyes are telling them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have I'm sure people are going to believe because I think a fighter is going to beat another fighter, he has a bias towards them. I'm a Tank fan. I truly am. I love Tank's skill. I love Tank talent. I just want Tank to fight the best. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But like when Tank fought Pitbull, his hand was hurt. The idea that people would sit here and say like, oh, well, he didn't get surgery. Did you see him throw his left hand? Then what the fuck are we talking about?
We know the shot he hurt his hand on. It was an uppercut in the fight.
What are we talking about? He stopped throwing his fucking hand. Like, what are we talking about?
Start beating him up going backwards.
But when Madrimov do it, we love it. When Loma do it, we love it. When Bivol does it, we love it. You know what I'm saying? When Sandor Martin does it, we love it. It's only when black boxers are slick and defensive minded because they want you to go in there and rock them, sock them robots. Styles make fights. I know what styles give other styles problems. And at the end of the day, all that moving don't get you points. Shakur not going to win a round if he don't throw punches. So that's my answer to all of it. Like, no matter what you say about Shakur,
Willie Pepper's
cannot
famous
win
for
a
winning
round without throwing
a
punches.
punch.
I just don't.
Famous for winning a round without throwing a punch.
I just don't understand why y'all act like y'all shocked about this shit. It's been that way since
we just upset, bro.
It's been that way since the beginning of the time. Ali went through the same shit. They had Jack Dempsey, fucking Rocky Marciano, all those guys back then was projected to be better than Ali. It's nothing new. I don't think it's necessarily an attack on the boxers. I think if it's not your guy, you're just not fucking with him. and you're gonna put whatever smut out there you can because he's not your guy. You know what I'm saying? We just got to be able to weed through the bullshit. We all know Shakur is a phenomenal fighter. We all know Haney is a phenomenal fighter. We shouldn't even pay that shit no type of attention,
They
in
don't
my
get
opinion.
but they don't get the same disdain and vitriol from the public.
Nah, bro, they don't.
Loma, Bob Arum said, I could build a house in Calabasas with all the money I lost on Terrence Crawford. And you promoted Loma, and you mad talking about TC don't like doing interviews? This motherfucker don't even speak English. He don't even speak English. And you found a way to make him a star? That's bullshit.
Ain't sold out of the arena. Ain't
it's
sold
bullshit.
Nothing. Hey, Robert Garcia, who's a very good trainer.
Great trainer.
Might be a trainer of the year again. Might be. This fool said, Floyd, 6 years ago, I'll never forget, Floyd, you should go fight Triple G. You talk about the dude that started at 130, went to 135, 147, 154, and he don't even make 154. He be like 150 pounds.
To me, it's simple. When somebody's so good, you want to see them lose. You know what I'm saying?
It's real simple. It's when the black fighter's so good, you want to see him lose. Because Triple G said, I'll beat anybody.
It really be with anybody, though. Like, when it comes to boxing, and we talking about the attack on boxing, hit and don't get hit, that is specifically for black fighters. But when it comes to, like, greatness is boring. Nobody want to see somebody get blew out. They want to see competitive things. So, like, when you fucking everybody up, it's going to turn into, we want to see them lose. The hate that the Kansas City Chiefs get, that the Patriots got, that Golden State Warriors got. When you smoking people going to hate you. That's just part of it.
Regardless.
Bro, Triple G said, his Abel Sanchez, beanhead ass said, he can beat anybody from 147 to 175. Andre Ward like, hey, hold up, fam. I'm at 168. What's up?
Nah,
you had anything on that?
Fight. Andre Ward put the emails out of y'all declining the fight. So you ain't want to Triple G. Y'all said he was the greatest middleweight ever. Sugar Ray Robinson fought at middleweight. Oh my fucking God. Roy Jones Jr. fought at middleweight. Marvin Hagler. I can keep going. And you don't want to go up one weight class. Floyd went up 5. You don't want to go up 1 to fight Andre. You know you're gonna get that ass whooped.
Thanks. KT, you want to add anything?
Really shit to add. I mean, it is what it is. That's why we had the conversation about style A versus style B, man. It's styles make fights, and when you are a black fighter with a certain style, they don't like you. They don't like you. And that's it really took head and shoulders leap because of Floyd. And Floyd was able to make the money. Floyd was braggadocious about it. He was able to make sure that he left the game with his wits, as he like to say, make smart investments, all of that shit. You know how Floyd talk his talk. And
yeah.
Can't read, but my boy can talk.
Yeah, you know, in a game
he can't read, but he can talk.
He can talk. And in a game
he might
that's
not be able to read, but that boy can talk.
They don't like black folks talking that talk, getting that money and being able to then create his own promotional company. It's cool when everybody else got it. But when we got our own stuff,
Golden Boy Productions,
don't nobody want to work with us. Devin Haney Productions and go, you know, all of that stuff. Like, and now we having a problem putting my name on the paperwork too to go besides yours in co-production instead of it just being Golden Boy, it just being Top Rank, or it just being whatever. Because you no longer make the decisions on how much money we get or what the split is or whatever the case. And it was the conversation about, man, why didn't Turkey bet on, and it don't got nothing to do with black fighters, but in the overall sense, why didn't Turkey put the bid in for Benavidez Bivol? That's weird. You said you like the best fighting the best. They order the best. Why wouldn't you bid? You know what I'm saying? And we know we could have put a crazy card together on that. So just not even having a bid put on it where we got to kind of go through the Devin Haney thing of hopefully somebody put a $2 million purse on it or something like that. Like, that's crazy for what Bivol just gave us, for what Benavidez just gave us. And don't nobody want to put the bread up? So it's
I think Turkey got some up his sleeve with that one. I think he's trying to see if these other promotional companies have some interest in that fight. I think we got a good chance of seeing that Benavidez Bivol under Turkey on one of these up and coming cards. It's not going to be the one in New York.
I'll say I'm wrong then. You know,
I ain't gonna lie.
I really, because I can't see why he wouldn't. You
I
see
ain't
what I'm
gonna
saying?
lie. I ain't gonna lie. I think it got something to do with both of them being Muslim. I think they wanted to see that trilogy. And if you peep, a lot of the fighters that Turkey aligned himself with, not like the big stars, but the other type of fighters that you've been seeing on his cards, the Shiraz and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, people gonna look out for they people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he wanted to see that trilogy. I think that it's more so that he wanted Bivol to give him the trilogy. So he's like, I'm not gonna fuck with that fight because you're not giving me what I want.
And
I do think that
Benavidez
them
a
being
trooper
Muslim
too,
got
because
something
he
to
said
do
I'll
with
step
it.
to the side, you know what I'm saying? Because that's to get their trilogy on. Benavidez, I just like everything Benavidez do.
Everything.
See, his
Everything.
team was like, they ain't want to fight.
That's my boy.
His team was making that traditional boxing thing with Demetrius Boo Boo Andre. I don't know if he want to fight, he moved. Benavidez don't give a fuck about that. I'm going to cut the ring off and
Hey,
beat that ass.
Benavidez has been on one there since he started fucking with them tester packs. He been on a nuke, boy. On the real. He been going crazy.
Now that's an Aztec warrior. SHAKUR, the fuck out of here, bro.
Motherfucker fucking with that booger sugar lost his belt on the
What?
on the scale. He oh yeah, I'm out here. What you talking about?
Oscar, don't ever call me again.
You the one who gave it to me.
Yeah. Don't call me no more, De La Hoya. Fucking me up.
You know Oscar gave him that shit.
Straight up.
All right. We're gonna pivot to NBA. Our first topic is, what does MVP mean to you, and who is the MVP this year?
I'll kick it off.
Let's start with you.
I'll kick it off. MVP, when we were growing up, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, since we were growing up, MVP, they always said best player on best team. That was always MVP. That's the reason why Jordan ain't got 20 MVP. While LeBron ain't got 20 MVP. Kobe ain't got some because it's Steve Nash and a white woman. But, you know, that's what we were told. We love Derrick Rose. We from the city. But D Rose numbers weren't better than Bron, but he was on the best team, best player.
Stop you right there. Just
on phone up.
Walk up. What Isaac Hayes say? Walk on by. Just skip over that part, G. Skip over that part.
I'm just saying the contradictions.
No.
The standard that they say. Not me. What they say.
I think the Bulls was the number one seed that year.
They definitely was. The Bulls was the number one seed that year.
Right. So he won. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
He won it because he was the best player on the best team.
Okay.
Right. That's why they say he won. Cool. Be consistent. Because when Russell Westbrook was averaging triple doubles, y'all gave it to him the first year because it was historic. But he did it again. And then he did it again. Why didn't he get MVPs? But when Jokic won his MVPs, he was a 4th and 5th seed. What's up with the standard?
Russ was like the 7th or 8th seed when he won his.
They said because you said Russell?
Right.
Because they said that somebody ain't did that since Oscar. That was their excuse for that. But he did it again and again and didn't give it to him. Now, Jokic having this amazing year. He averaging a triple-double, big triple-double. This ain't no Jason Kidd triple. This big triple-double.
This ain't 10-10-10, huh?
No, this ain't 10-10-10. This 30-10 and 12 type shit. Like he tweaking. Best player in the league. Cool. But SGA doing something we ain't never seen. They on the best player on the best team. So according to that, SGA should win. What you think, Slick?
To touch on that Derrick Rose shit. You say statistically wise, his numbers wasn't better than LeBron. I think what Braun maybe averaged a couple more points than he did, but I think what they looking at when it comes down to the totality is the talent that you have around you and how do you maximize that. Um, if you take Derrick Rose off that Bulls team, they're not in the playoffs probably. If you take LeBron James off that Miami Heat team, they're still the favorite to come out the East. Derrick Rose also made timely shots, was a run stopper, was the guy that when nobody else could get buckets, he would go and stop a run. So I think that played a part into it too.
He
Um,
gamed Kobe that year too.
was that year, or was that I think that was the following season. I
I
don't know.
think it was that year.
Okay. Um, but the MVP to me is I don't necessarily think it has to go to whoever has the best record because some people teams are just better than others. I think the MVP should be looked at and viewed as who really means the most to their team. That's how I think it should be viewed, how it should be given. Um, who is the determining factor on this team to decide how far we go? You know, but hands down, I'm gonna have to say SGA with Luca being not Luca, I'm sorry, with Jokic
Yo,
being a close second, even though his record is not as good as SGA, he's everything for the team. And he makes everybody around him better. Russ having the best year since his OKC days. You got the young boy Christian Braun out there performing after being under Jokic for a few years. The only one that can't get his shit together is Jamal, which I don't know why. But I feel like it's SGA. I feel like it's SGA's to be had. Um, and if you take everything out that we say what's an MVP, I ain't gonna lie. An honorable mention, he's not gonna get it. But I will put the boy Cade name out there. And not by no means am I saying Cade deserves the MVP. But when I'm breaking down MVP, I'm looking at him like Detroit was a shit show for the past what 4 5 years. He got them boys hooping this year, and this is his best year. He's not gonna get it, but that's how I view things.
I like that.
What you got, K?
All right, shit. To me, what does an MVP mean to you? I agree with Slick. Um, it's what is your true value to your team? What, who is your team with you, and what are they without you? And how does this team operate? So I think that the biggest issue is that there has not been consistency with the criteria of what it takes for this award. There has been years where the best player in the world wins it. Then there's years where the best player on the best team wins it. Then there's years where the person with the best statistics wins it. And it's like the value that you add to your team. And then I would put a little secondary part of like, who is just the best player? Like, honestly, like it's pretty simple. Like, the value that you add is important, but then also like, who is truly the best player in the world?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, if I was picking the MVP, it's Joker, and it's not even close. I fuck with SGA. I picked them to win the NBA championship this year. I love his two-way ability, which he has over Joker. But the offensive player Joker is, it's never been seen. The shit that he do, it's never been seen. His his ability to always make the right play, like, and never ever ever it does it seem like he doing the wrong shit. Like he watching the game and you feel like, oh, I wouldn't have did that, or he shouldn't have did that. Like he's always doing what he's supposed to do. He's always making the right play. To me, Joker's defense, he's not a great individual defender, but his team defense is good. The only like real issue is he's not a good pick and roll defender, and people can take advantage of that. Because of his lack of mobility, they can't play drop coverage. He has to meet the screen at the top of the screen, or they got to put 2 on the ball. So it kind of changes what your team can do. But you can coach out of that. I just seen Mike Malone coach them into a win in that second game against OKC. Literally coached them into a win. Like, all right, we're going to put 2 on the ball against Shea. We're going to mix up the coverage, and then we're going to go to zone. And we're going to make somebody else beat us. And we're going to see if Shea is really a distributor. And he's not. Shea is a solid playmaker, but he's a great scorer. He's the best scorer in the league. That's what Shea is. He's an excellent defender. He really is. And I don't think he gets enough credit for his defense.
Think you're better scorer than Luka?
He's not.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And the other thing is, like, people try to say Shea is a foul merchant. Joel Embiid is a foul merchant.
I wouldn't give a damn if he was. Stop
Shea
fouling.
getting buckets. You're going to be hard-pressed to see a play where it looks like, oh, he's trying to get a foul. He's trying to score the ball, and motherfuckers foul him. Him, Jimmy Butler, it's a couple motherfuckers who, like, them fouls are fouls. And in the regular season and playoffs, they still going to go to the line 10 times. Jimmy Butler still goes to the line 10 times in the playoffs. Because them fouls are fouls. Like, Shea Gilgeous, you don't see him merchant fouls. You don't see him pump faking, trying to throw his body into somebody. You see him getting buckets. And motherfuckers fouling him because they can't do shit with him. But the problem with OKC is, that's not even a topic. I'm going to stay on topic. To me, the MVP is Joker. The MVP is Joker. What you say, KT?
You should go ahead. Get into the problem.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, I got them winning the chip.
Okay.
Get on his ass, KT, because I told his ass the same shit the other day. He gonna get mad at me.
The MVP of the league is Joker because of everything. Because the value he put to his team, his on and off numbers, his plus minus numbers are ridiculous. The team, when he's on the court compared to when he's off the court, it's ridiculous. It's night and day. I think Shea has a better cast around him. Even though Denver has won a championship, I think their third best player is Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon has missed a lot of games this year. This is the most efficient we've ever seen Russell Westbrook play, ever, including his MVP year. This is the most efficient we've ever seen him play. And we've seen it next to the best basketball player in the world. So I think Joker is the MVP. I think it's by a wide margin.
Damn.
That's my answer.
It's not close. It's not even close. SGA, it's the misconception. SGA not even the best player on the best team because the Cavaliers got the best record in the league. So SGA not even the best player on the best team, man. They run with it because OKC's having a good year, man. OKC this year is like the 2014, 2015 Atlanta Hawks, man. That's how I look at the year that they have and what it's going to come down to. Boy, if you take Jokic off the Nuggets, they're New Orleans. That's what they are. 18 or 19 and 40 something. G. Like, it's nasty. It's not even close. So if we're going by best player on best team, I guess it's Donovan Mitchell that's winning. But
nah.
Jokic is so far ahead.
But that's a good point.
So far ahead. SGA is reminding me of those James Harden seasons where his usage is just so high, but he don't pass like Harden do. Harden to go get you a triple-double 5 nights in a row just because he can pass, get to the line, and shoot the 3-wheel.
Harden don't defend like SGA, though.
You said what?
Harden don't defend like
Harden don't
SGA.
play the other end of the court.
At all. But we're not talking about SGA being MVP for his defense, though.
No.
Nobody brings SGA's defense up. Right? It's
should
what
be.
he's doing on the offensive end, his efficiency, and what his team record is. Nobody even factored that into why SGA should win the MVP because Jokic is so far. What you see Jokic do on the basketball court, when you stack him and SGA side by side, it's a clear gap in skill. A clear gap in skill for somebody who is supremely talented in SGA, but it's not close. MVP means to me is exactly what Nikola Jokic does year in and year out. They just tired of giving him the MVP because they didn't give it to Jordan, give it to Kobe, give it to Bron as many times as they're giving it to Jokic.
Jokic got a couple MVPs that shouldn't be his.
Who?
I disagree.
You said who got a couple MVPs that won his?
Say that again, Slip.
I said, what you say, Scotty? Who got a couple MVPs?
I said Jokic got a couple MVPs that arguably shouldn't be his for the same reason why we saying. Because KT just made a good point about Cleveland Cavaliers having the best record. There's been times again that Jokic's team didn't have the best record. And he wasn't the best player per se. Like it's just like it goes to what Cash said, the inconsistency. My problem is the inconsistency in how we judge how the NBA judges the MVP.
But Joker been the best player though. Regardless.
Well, last year Joel Embiid was the best player, but he ain't played 60 games.
Jokic just passed Steph, so we're not gonna pretend like he didn't. He just passed Steph this year.
Joel Embiid
just passed Steph for what?
Joel Embiid was the MVP last year.
With who? He passed Steph for
you gotta
what?
stop this, KT.
What is you talking about, boy?
What that nigga KT say? He passed him with what?
He just made me just forget everything I said. Hey man, we gotta stop.
What'd he say, Cash?
And I'm a Steph fan.
He just passed Steph for best player of the year. Best player in the NBA.
This is Wild Hunters, bro.
Hey,
I ain't gonna do this with you today, KT.
Smoked his ass in the Olympics. He just recovering from that. That's all it is.
Hey, whatever you smoking, I don't want none of that shit.
Yeah.
The Somalians done got a hold of him.
That's what happened. Got his ass tweaking. Hey, Joker been the best player in the league for like the last 4-5 years. Last year he should have won MVP. But this is what happens when somebody keep coming in second and shit like that. That's the same shit that's happened with SGA. When I hear people sit here and say, "Oh, SGA should have won it last year," based on weight, like, no, he shouldn't have, and he shouldn't win it this year. But I do agree, and I think everybody kind of agree that there is a such thing as voter fatigue. Like when Mike was the best, he should have won probably 10 years in a row, but they didn't want to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Slick dead right. This ain't no Chicago bias. Like, Derrick Rose deserved that MVP. I hate that whole argument. But LeBron did have some MVPs that he possibly
I think y'all
won.
overrate that first Miami Heat team. They was top heavy. That bench was trash.
If
you take Bron off that team, in the East, they might make the play because the East was trash.
Huh? We forgetting about D-Wade over there?
D-Wade, he took one.
They was in the lottery last year. The year before, not last year, the year before.
They wasn't. The year before LeBron came, they wasn't in the lottery.
Well, they made the first round?
They got eliminated. They got eliminated.
The year before LeBron came, go look at D-Wade numbers.
He was cooking, bro.
D-Wade was D-Wade.
It's easy to forget shit, but like
D-Wade
was literally in the argument for best player in the league.
I'm talking about the team, not D-Wade. I'm talking about the team success.
They was gonna be that regardless, Scott. If you take Bron,
the D-Wade and Chris Bosh, wasn't that good, bro.
You still got D-Wade and Chris Bosh.
Chris Bosh was the best power forward in the league.
I don't know about that, but Chris Bosh is Chris Bosh. I get your point. Chris Bosh is Chris
25 and 12. Prior to
let's just say that if you take D-Rose off the Bulls, they'll be worse than if you take Bron off the Heat. So I agree with that.
Yeah, I think they the best player on the best team shit, like, it depends on how close the gap is. And it's a country mile for me between Joker and whoever you think it's at. Like, it ain't close.
I ain't mad
at
that.
Joker
I just want some consistency. I agree with Slick's definition of MVP.
The most valuable.
Most valuable.
Yeah, I want some consistency. That's all.
Yeah, I think we all agree that it is no real consistency in the shit. That's what the issue is with it. You feel me?
Because Joker's the best player in the NBA.
Huh?
I said Joker's the best player in the NBA.
Yeah, I would say that, but I agree with y'all. I feel like Joker deserves the MVP, but with knowing the dichotomy of the NBA, it's gonna go to Shea. And plus, they're gonna look at it as we can market him more. You know, I think it was KC that said it the last episode when we was talking about the face of the league, and he had brung up Anthony Edwards. The league is looking for that next guy to step in and become the face of the league. So I think they're gonna just gear more towards Shea. It just worked. Jokic, the nigga don't even talk, bro. You feel me? Like they looking for somebody that's marketable. But he
That's gonna
definitely
be a
should.
part of
That
it. But it
SGA
will.
So
stuff
he
ain't
said he got that
marketable.
Larry Bird effect.
Yeah, that SGA ain't not marketable.
You said
He-
SGA not marketable?
Why he
not
not?
Folks be wearing the Prince pants with the joints flared out at the bottom,
What you talking about? Folks
with
be
the beater
flea.
with the chain. What?
Folks be flea. What you talking about? The furs? You don't
All
think
that
he
stuff do
marketable?
matter though, KT, because that's why a lot of part of what Iverson was that dude.
You don't think SGA marketable?
He's seventh in line. Like when you go down, he like it's definitely like Ant, Luca. I mean, as we continue to go down, the stars that are in the game.
He don't talk shit. He don't do the antics. But like off the court, he flee. He got an exciting game. He not dunking niggas every game. But like
Niggas feel the
he
same about
mixing
Kyle
motherfuckers
Kuzma off the
up.
court.
It's
Shit like
highlight.
That boy smooth, dog. That boy
Yeah.
SGA smooth.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just
No, I
saying.
ain't saying you not. I'm just giving him.
No,
I'm just
I agree
acknowledging.
with you. I do think that he's down the line as far as the
Yeah.
most marketable.
Like there's no gravitation to SGA.
I
There's
ain't
no
gonna say none.
gravitation for it.
I ain't gonna say none. If
You
he
don't think
played
he
in
more
a bigger
marketable than
market,
Jokic,
he'd
though,
be a
KT?
bigger star.
If
If he played in
SGA,
New York,
if Ant was having the year SGA was having this year, it wouldn't even be a discussion.
to the
Who's gonna
moon.
If
get
who?
you know what I'm saying?
To the
Yeah,
moon.
Edwards.
Who?
Edwards. If
Oh,
he was
yeah,
having
yeah,
the
yeah,
year,
yeah.
bro, that shit would be so it would be done.
To the moon for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
People can't relate to SGA the way they can relate to some of these other stars, and that's what you gotta have. You either got it or you don't.
He
All that
Canadian
off-court
too.
shit cool, but the kids don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
America got an American bias on some real
Yeah.
shit.
I don't hear people talk about SGA shoe brand. I don't even know if he got one. I'm sure he does.
He with
You know
New
what I'm
Balance.
saying? But like, that stuff matters.
He with New Balance.
All
His
right.
ass got some Canadian Asics, boy.
Yeah, that's an ill. You know what I'm
He's like,
saying?
that's
Hey,
hell.
that's an ill. Right there. He can't promote
Hell
it,
no.
boy.
You know, Trump trying to make Canada in the 51st state.
All
Y'all
right,
better
wait
stop
on that.
playing with
Wait
them
on
people.
that.
They said they gonna cut our motherfucking power off, Joe.
Wait on that. Wait on that. Wait on that.
Better
All
stop
right,
I'm saying
look.
that'll make SGA American.
All right, hold
It's
on.
straight up.
To what KT said, he said nobody talking about SGA's defense. In today's game, how important is defense to you? I'm gonna kick it off because I think I'm the motherfucking front runner with this. It's extremely important to me. Not to everybody else, I understand it. I don't think that it's a 50-50 game, even though 50% of the game is on defense. I don't think it's 50-50 because a great offensive player will beat a great defender most of the time. But it's still extremely important. In the regular season on the Tuesday night going to Minnesota, who gives a fuck? But come playoff time, it matters if you can get stops. It matters if you can defend. And the way that you stress your team out by not being able to defend. If you have any questions about it, just go see the finals from last year. As great of an offensive player as Luka is, they lost the finals because Luka couldn't defend nothing, and they was picking on him.
Yeah, Luka.
And when you got somebody who you could pick on, like it stresses everybody else out because like they know it just like the offense know it. They know like he can't guard. So like even though I got one eye on my man, I gotta watch his man always. I gotta be in help. I gotta be ready to rotate. So to me, defense is extremely important. I don't think that it gets enough. Like KT said, who nobody talking about Shea defense. I think that's fucked up. I think that when you're a great defender, it should get more credit, but it doesn't. And a lot of it, I would say, it's because kids really run the media. Children run the media. They the ones who buy the shoes and buy the jerseys, buy the merch, ask their parents to take them to the games. They doing all of the social commentary. So children really run the media. That's why LaMelo led All-Star voting and didn't make the All-Star team. It shows you that kids, what they like is going to have a factor in how this thing goes. And it's unfortunate because defense is really, really important to winning. That's all I got to say about it. I'm going to kick it to you, Slick.
I agree.
Defense 100% matters. That's why a lot of the old heads don't like this current NBA style. They feel like it's a lot of 3-pointers just being jacked up. Nobody's showing effort on defense. And to me, it doesn't make the game exciting at all because if I could just leave somebody open and they could shoot threes, I don't want to see that. I want to see somebody getting into a motherfucker, defending, making them work for it, you know. And just to let you know how much defense is important, can you name me a team in the past 8 years that's won a championship that hasn't had a top defense? I can't think of one offhand. Shit, if we go
At
back
least
to
top
that
5,
Detroit,
top 10.
you say what's got
I said that they had to at least have a top 5, top 10 defense.
Top
top
10.
five, top 10? I mean, shit. We look at the era when we started watching hoops after Mike left. Look at that Detroit team that beat LA. Ain't nobody get at Detroit a fair shaking winning that series at all.
They was
Look,
clamping shit.
what? Motherfucker scoring 70 points a game. That's tough. Defense
They had
matters,
defense
man.
top to bottom. They was clamping shit.
And I don't see how it gets fixed either because the NBA has also enabled these niggas with not playing defense because of the way they have changed the rules. And I think we're gonna continue to get this same type of product because what does that show the younger generation or kids that's in 6th, 7th, 8th grade that's playing basketball? I just gotta have a bag. I just gotta be offensively minded, and I'm on this court. Shorty, you just got 50 put on your head, and we lost. What is you talking about?
I scored
And he
30
took
and I
30
hit a
shots to get
one-legged
30
three.
points with a
You
bag.
know, like that's insane to me. So I actually enjoy seeing the physicality and defense for sure.
The question is, how important is defense in today's game? Shit, not that important, but to me, it's important. To me, it is. To me, is everything. Even though I grew up an Iverson, even he played the passing lane and went out there and played balls out. You know, he wasn't a great on-ball defender, even though he was in college, but even he played the passing lanes, man. Like defense, even when we having the GOAT debate or when you making rankings, sure, Wilt Chamberlain had crazy offensive numbers, but if they was keeping track of blocks, let's be for real. Like he the only one I seen block the sky hook twice, and he wasn't even in his prime. Defense is a thing, man. Of course, you can win. Like great offense, be good defense. You know what I'm saying? You make a shot, good defense, better O. But defense matter, and the blame is on the NBA. They want to complain about the product, but they the ones like Slick said, they the ones change the rules. They the ones that allowed the style of play. Now I'm not mad at the style of play, but y'all not promoting defense. You taking away, and like what was that 05 when they took away the hand checking? And then they even got soft as it went into the teens, the 2000 and 2020s. It's the NBA fault.
For sure.
Man, I mean, I think it's very important because we got the regular season, and then we got the playoffs, and in the playoffs it always take off. Those whistles get harder to come by when we find the playoffs coming up, and like Slick mentioned, the last however many teams. I mean, we go back to what the Lakers in the bubble had Dwight Howard, which was the
For sure.
only reason they can handle Jokic. We hear AD crying about playing center because he want to be a four because he don't want that smoke with Jokic, and AD considered one of the best defenders in the league. And they didn't have an answer for Jokic 3 years in a row. When you get them up out of there, that's part of why they
He's
traded
too
him.
big, dog.
They traded him. You know what I'm saying? We look at the Warriors beating the Celtics, big part of Andrew Wiggins' defense on Tatum and them, like a defensive unit. I think the Warriors were number one that year. Then Celtics trade out Marcus Smart for Drew Holiday. I think all 5 of their starters was in like top 30 net rating in defensive efficiency, with Tatum being the worst at that. Like defense kicks in the playoffs, and I think even though they don't promote it, you see it in the reflection of the game. Like
That's a good point.
have an issue playing defense will go get that first round exit, man. And those teams that have better defense opposed to scoring will go typically go later in the playoffs, man. So definitely a major part. They just don't promote it as much because of the kids, ticket sales, viewership, threes. But man, we seen the threes lose the Rockets a series versus the Warriors because they was chucking them up. So just part of the game.
We also
Players
seen the
that
addition
can't
of Drew Holiday win the Milwaukee Bucks a championship.
One with them, they came over and won another one for the
My mom.
players that can't defend and their lack of defense affects their team. Do y'all address that? Do y'all feel like it's a hindrance is stopping their teams from winning? What's y'all thoughts on that?
I
I
think
mean,
it's the all around team that like you can have like Steph Curry ain't never been the best defender, but his team has good defense.
You could
You
be
know
a
what I'm
good
saying?
team defender. What if you're not both? What if you're not a good individual defender or a team defender?
You cook.
Them
The
guys still
dad,
get a lot of love.
the dad
Luca
age,
suck at both.
yeah, but nobody not gonna say
No,
shit to
but his
Luka.
team around him though. I'm talking about the team. When I meant team, I meant the team around you. Like at least your team around you got some dogs around you.
I'm saying
Luka's
Luca
horrible
is.
at both, but what he does on the offensive end, they try to say it makes up for his lack of on the defensive end. They say Luka makes players better around him offensively than it makes up for his lack of defensive skill whatsoever.
Luca is an exceptional offensive player.
Yeah,
But
he's
he
exceptional. He's
literally
exceptional
got
to
to
probably the
be
room, maybe.
around a bunch of great defenders for the team to even like contend.
You gotta have some type of defense, bro.
You can't have no weak defenders on the team with Luca.
Luka gonna have to get better. He's 25. He got to, but he gonna have to. And he
You
has
can't have
been
no
doing a little
small
deeper, better than
defenders.
that shit I seen the highlights in the playoff. He gonna have to do. He gonna have to play some defense.
You got to
You
have
gotta
rim
have
protector.
serviceable defense. Larry Bird wasn't out there shutting nobody down, but you gotta take some pride in your defense. Like, come on, man. When you go to
You
the
know,
park and you play one on one, like I got him.
you know what's crazy? The flip side to that coin is defense is important. Um, I think AI will have something to say about that.
But he played
You
the
feel me?
passing lanes, bro. He
What you
was
mean?
smart.
No, not his individual defense. I'm saying they team got to the finals based off their defense, and AI being that one primary scorer. What happens when your defense is just phenomenal? And by no means am I saying that offense. I mean defense doesn't matter. But at what point does the defense carry you, but you don't have enough points to get you over the top,
Oh,
i.e.,
well,
the
that's
AI?
true too.
It's a different league now. That building a team like that won't work today. The Celtics just shot 24 threes in the first quarter against OKC. They took 26 shots. 24 of them was threes. Like the idea of like building a team that's just like all defenders and we can't score, you can't win in today's game with that. It's too much shooting, too much spacing, too many good players. Like everybody got a bag, everybody is offensively inclined, and the players who can play both ways, those are the players that you want in the playoffs.
You gotta take some pride in your defense.
The Miami Heat is a recent example of that. Though they had a defensive team and Jimmy took them all away, but they didn't have enough scoring.
Yeah, but look how far that could get you though. The fact that like being able to lock down, having some pride in stopping your man and nobody being the weak link. That's why I'm taking OKC this year.
Well, you
They got
could.
so many virtual like uh both ways. So many players that could go both ways. So many players that can score and that can defend. That when you look at those OKCs in the past, the Kevin Durant teams, I think that's what made him leave OKC. They had a bunch of defenders who couldn't score. Then they had scorers who couldn't defend, like the Anthony Morrows and shit like that.
Capo Ceballos couldn't put that bitch in the ocean, boy.
At
Yeah,
all.
that's the best example, Cephalosha.
So it's like there you gotta find a fine line, and that's why I
Right.
really like this OKC team. I
Got to
think
be
that they
some
could win.
balance.
I
It
think
got to
that
be
they could
that
win
balance.
because they got a bunch of excellent defenders, but all of them can like score the ball. Their biggest issue is just like giving up good. They got to give up good shots to get great shots. They take the first available good shot. and they don't have a lot of playmakers. So that's the only issue I could see them running into. Aside from that, John hit a game winner tonight.
Yeah. No, I think the Lakers can win a championship if Luka has some serviceable defense. To Slick's point, like you ain't gotta be Tayshaun Prince, bro, but you gotta
Luka
take
is a
some.
chair. Luka is a cone.
Yeah, you can't be a cone. You can't be a cone, but you gotta take some pride in it. Like Larry Bird, one of the greatest defender. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah
No,
Thomas.
Luka was. I mean, Larry Bird was smart and he was a good team defender. He just wasn't a
Yeah,
great.
Isaiah Thomas wasn't the greatest defender, but he took pride in it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take some pride. You gotta be able to crack down. You gotta be able to crack down and take some pride and have serviceable defense. As great as an offensive player like Luka is, he's just serviceable defense. I'm not saying you gotta be, you know what I'm saying, Scottie Pippen.
Facts. All right, well, shit. Thank y'all for tuning in to the World's Outstanding Casuals. Where we come more about what's real than being right. Hope you enjoyed the pod. Like, share, and subscribe. And normalize saying I don't know. And listen. Peace.